Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Sunday morning. With us is Senator George Borrello from Western New York to give us the state of the state, what his problems are with it, and anything good with it, Senator.
Well, yeah, I guess the good thing is I got through another one, so that was good. But I will tell you that, here we are in the new year, and 2026 is going to be an interesting year. But I guess the part that I was most concerned about was I'm not sure Governor Hochul and I are living in the same state, because her outlook is a little bit different. She's saying that people are moving to New York State in droves, and she's made New York more affordable, and and a lot of other strange things, because quite honestly, when you look at the data, unfortunately, New York's at pretty much the bottom of every good list and the top of every bad one. New York State ranks 45th in the nation when it comes to affordability. We rank 50 out of 50 states for tax competitiveness. And New Yorkers pay about 50% more for electricity than the rest of the country, despite the fact that we have a tremendous amount of hydroelectric power, particularly from up here in upstate New York. So to listen to her talk about successes, it really kind of fell flat in the room on Tuesday. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that her plan right now is to essentially rattle her saber against Donald Trump, which was what most of her speech was. She had an anti-law enforcement message saying New York's not going to cooperate with our federal officials. And quite frankly, that's, I think, very concerning for the public safety here in New York State. So we are, I think, off to an interesting start to the 2026 political campaign. And the fact that Governor Hochul is basically trying to deflect away from her record and from New York State's, unfortunately, downward spiral. And that's something every New Yorker, every taxpayer, every stakeholder in New York State should be concerned about.
Well, look, I want the best. Look, I've lived in New York City, New York State for 70 years, 75 years, and I want New York to be the best. I mean, I want New York to succeed, so I root for everybody. But I want to make sure we're not making any stupid moves where it's going to hurt us.
Agreed. I mean, look, we all want New York to succeed, and really, honestly, I would love for her to do more of some of the things she's already started doing, because you know what, she's realizing that New York State cannot, provide power for the power needs that we have here based just solely on wind and solar. So she's talking about nuclear energy. The problem is nuclear energy is a decade or more away. What we really need is just some common sense, all of the above strategy. And unfortunately, her Democrat colleagues in Albany don't want to talk about anything other than wind and solar, even though they realize, she realizes that this is not a sustainable path.
Senator, I did not actually listen to her entire speech, but I spoke to Premier Doug Ford from the Ontario, and he said to me last week that they signed a deal with New York State to bring more electricity down to this to New York State. Did she say anything about that?
That wasn't part of her discussion, no. Unfortunately, she was spending a lot of time, talking about Donald Trump. But, yeah, I realize that is one of the proposals. But we really don't need to do that. We don't need to spend, billions of dollars to create, essentially a transmission line from Canada when we have the resources right here. We have natural gas right under our feet. We should be repowering these shuttered power plants with clean, low-emission natural gas. We shouldn't have to import it from other states and other countries like Canada. That's really the fallacy of all of this. She talks about hydropower from Ontario, but we could be expanding our hydropower footprint right here in New York State and providing more jobs and more stability. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be second in line behind the needs for Ontario and the states around us that supply us with power now. when they need it for their data centers, for their manufacturing, for their power needs, we will be next in line. And that is what the New York State Independent System Operators is talking about. The fact that New York State could be facing rolling blackouts as soon as this year because of a lack of power supply and the growing need with aging infrastructure and unfortunately these unreliable intermittent green energy projects that just cannot power New York's future.
Understood. Anything else you want to tell the people?
Well, I
give me some good news.
Well, here's some good news, I guess. I think the good news is that people are starting to realize that this agenda is not going to make New York more affordable and safer. You can't talk about affordability when you're doing things to make New York less affordable, like the all-electric mandates. There are some things that we have common ground on. I support the idea of providing better child care. I think most everyone does. The challenge, in my opinion, is paying for it, number one. Number two, this whole idea of universal child care that goes to everyone, even to extremely wealthy people who don't need it, or people that are unwilling to work. That to me, I think most common sense New Yorkers should say that that's where it stops. Let's provide better and more abundant child care and support our child care workers who are underpaid and support creating the infrastructure so we have more child care to eliminate those child care deserts. So we can find common grounds on these things. But again, it's always a good idea that's taken too far. That's been a challenge. Governor Hochul said that she thinks that government should be a force for good. Well, I can agree with her on that. But unfortunately, her and I disagree on what's really good for New York State.
Understood. Senator George Borrello, thank you so much for calling in this Sunday morning, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you very much.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.